Many of us think a lot of times why companies as big as Blockbuster, Blackberries and Kodak fall and falter. What is the reason behind it? In today's video, we are exactly going to understand what are the reasons behind the fall of such big companies and how companies, if they focus on this particular point, can grow to next limits. So stay tuned till the end, and if you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. So one of the most important points that makes any marketing campaign or a brand to succeed is the importance on the customer focus. Your customer focus has to be so important, so powerful that it solves all the problems. Now let us understand why is customer so important in the first place. Because if customer wouldn't see the value in your particular product or your service, they wouldn't buy it. Now let us understand with one particular example the importance of customer focus and how it was used beautifully by a company in succeeding to next limits. Now see here, company as big as Nestle, why is it succeeding so much in these days? Because it lays a lot of focus on the customer focus. It understands customers' insights and uses it well in its research and builds its products wisely. With its research, Nestle saw that people were becoming more health conscious and they were having that particular thought in mind. If they would eat and intake a lot of sugar, it would affect their health. If they take a lot of carbs, it would affect their health. Now what they thought, this would decrease their candy sales to next limits. Now what they did, they used their research and customer insights, laid down customer focus and bought new changes. Now what happens, I'll tell you something about the human psychology. If you eat a large candy, what people think is they are becoming unhealthy. They are taking in a lot of sugar. There is a large amount of carbs intake that you are taking. Nestle understood this particular problem, and what they did, they came up with small bites. Now they used the customer points, customer focus and infused it in their product psychology. Now what happened, you see, people will take a small bite of that chocolate, eat it, feel like they have not taken any carbs, they have not taken any amount of sugar in that particular manner which was there in a large bar, and they will keep on eating 1, 2, 3. And similarly, likewise, what will happen at the end of the time, they will eventually end up in eating that much quantity that was available in a bar. So see here how Nestle used points of customer focus so importantly, so beautifully, that they built a new product which was Nestle Bites, and how they succeeded. Now let me tell you, if you don't follow these customer points, you don't lay stress on them, you don't hit the notes of customer focus so importantly, what would happen eventually? Companies as big as Blockbuster, companies as big as Blackberry and Kodak fell to next levels. Now let me explain first with Blockbuster. Blockbuster was the largest video chain in USA. It was as big as Starbucks. It was having almost 9,000 stores. It was so successful and it was growing to next limits. But suddenly they also saw that people had some pain points with them. The major pain points was the late fee that they used to collect when people were not able to return the DVDs on time. People also didn't like the long queues that they had to follow to return their DVDs on the day of the late fees. Blockbuster didn't lay stress on this particular point and didn't understand the customers at that particular moment and failed, because this was the largest revenue driver for them, the late fees amount. Here, Netflix saw the opportunity. They were the substitutes. What they did was they introduced a new service where they released the DVD rental via mails. Now there was no late fees at all. People could see as many movies as possible with a fixed monthly rental. People loved this concept. And with just the inception of this particular thing, Netflix garnered 20 million subscribers in the first year. Next year, they released their streaming services and boom, they gained 100 million subscribers. And what happened next? In 2010, Blockbuster had to file for bankruptcy. Now imagine at this particular situation, if Blockbuster would have understood they had to move from offline to online medium to take their fees and everything and introduce a new service, understand the customer pain points, they would have done so brilliantly well. They wouldn't have had to file bankruptcy. Here they missed the bus. They didn't understand their customers properly. Now coming on to the next example, Blackberry. In 2000s, it was a category leader in mobiles. Category leaders in this particular category, imagine it was the phone which was used by the C-level executives, the presidents, vice president, directors, the founders, even the president of USA was using them. They were famous for their QWERTY keypads, that feel that they used to give. Suddenly what happened in the industry, the shift was there with the Apples and Googles of the world coming up with the smart and sleek touch phones. People were shifting onto these particular phones. They loved this feel of sleek phones which could be touched and felt. Now BlackBerry were very hesitant on their QWERTY keypad. They didn't want to shift the base to the touch phones. But people's needs were changing. They were shifting on to the touch phones. Now even after several acquisitions, 15 to 16 acquisitions and shifting to the touch phones, BlackBerry missed the bus. They lost the market share. Now if you are a marketer, you need to understand customers' needs continuously changes. If you have to grow, you have to keep pace with that. You have to be very flexible with the changes, adapt to it and change your pattern. If you want to be in the race, if you want to succeed, you have to lay stress on the pain points of your customers and bring those changes in your product so that the customers see value in your product and you increase with time. If you are a 90s kid, you would know this particular company so well because your parents loved it, even you loved it. I'm talking about Kodak. Kodak was pioneer in film reels. Now, what happened here was, if I'll ask you, what is Kodak known for? If you are buying a Kodak reel, what is your intention behind it? Do you love the reels? No. If I may answer that, people love the memories behind it. Now what happened here was, with the invention of the smartphones picking up, people could share the memories via the smartphones. Kodak didn't realize this pattern and they were fixated on selling their reels. They didn't understand the pattern. Now people were shifting to the smartphones for sharing their memories and photographs. Kodak didn't understand that they also had to change with the pace. They also wanted to change at this particular time. They missed the bus. They didn't lay stress on the customer changes, customer needs, customer focus, and they also missed the point that they were also competing with giants like Sony and Samsung, and also the social media sharing platforms like Instagram and Pinterest, which bet them, and Kodak lost the plot. So in today's video, we actually understood what takes a company to grow to next levels and what particular point, which is the customer focus and customer insights, that can lead a big company to falter and fall down. If you want to see such kind of videos, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon. I will be back with another video with such information. So stay tuned. Thank you.